How y'all been today, tonight, whenever you're watching? You feel me? We're watching. I ranked my top 10 anime hot takes by Shonen Showdown.
Personal anime hot takes. I've had a lot of time to think about it. I didn't want to rush this
Shit
type
loud,
of video,
ain't it?
so when you watch this video, you're not supposed to agree with me, okay? These are supposed to be hot takes for a reason, but if you do, shout out to you. You part of the team. All right, let's get into it. At number 10, I have Hajime no Ippo is the best sports anime.
That is not crazy. It's not crazy at all. Best? Ooh, best might be no. Okay. Hajime no Ippo got like a lot of character build up. It really is the definition of you ass and you get stronger.
Ever created. Now,
No
I
potential.
say this with respect to Haikyuu. I say this with respect to
Love
Kuroko no Basket.
Haikyuu, by
I
the
say
way.
this with respect to Slam Dunk and Blue Lock. But my reason for this hot take is because the Haikyuu fans are in abundance. The Blue Lock fans are in abundance. And Hajime no Ippo is often left out of the conversations as one of the greatest sports anime of all time. And I think it really is. And listen, basketball is my
I feel like the problem with that is that sometimes niggas forget that boxing is a sport and not just a fighting anime. You know what I'm saying?
favorite sport. So you would think that I would have Kuroko way up in the sky or even Slam Dunk, and I do not, because I think Hajime no Ippo's take on boxing is one of the greatest things I've seen in all of anime, not just sports anime. Hajime no Ippo is hands down the most motivational anime I have ever watched.
Motivational
I
as
mean, from
hell. If you watch Haikyuu, it really not Haikyuu. If you watch Hajime no Ippo, it really make you want to get up and do some
seeing
shit.
Makunouchi Ippo literally do road work to the point where he starts to throw up, to see the fact that he was
Yes,
suffering
bro.
early on and getting bullied, and Takamura took him under his wing and he started training at the boxing gym, to see that he had an early rival in Miyata to help him push and elevate his skill level. Ippo literally is the embodiment of the word motivation. But there's other characters outside of him that are great as well. I remember when Takamura was preparing for his fight against Brian Hawk, we had an opportunity to see how Takamura trains and the level of commitment that Hajime no Ippo was able to illustrate with its manga panels, with the anime show. It's just unbelievable. We're seeing Takamura literally struggle and push himself to the brink of exhaustion just to make weight
Great
for
fucking
the
guy.
match. Takamura literally had to dehydrate himself to a point where he was barely recognizable. Somebody that is so fun-loving
Damn.
could not even
Look at his fucking skin. Look at the dehydration. Look at the he ain't drink. You see the wrinkles in his mouth like an old ass man. He got more wrinkles than that nigga.
really have the strength to be
dedication.
energetic, but he somehow found
Look, but the nigga teeth still clean.
way to have strength against Brian Hawk. This is what I'm talking about with Ippo, and it's not to say that we don't feel that fervor in watching Haikyuu, because obviously the chants and everything go crazy. We know about the Shirato Izawa. But when you're talking about hearing Makunouchi, and you're seeing him going up against Sando, is different from the announcing, the music, the animation with the punches and the Dempsey roll. You really feel like you're watching one of the greatest.
I go lie, I fuck with the Haikyuu shit. I know this is like not the time, but like when they was throwing niggas off and shit with the band and shit, and they was throwing off the nigga Focus. That was crazy.
Boxing matches of all time, and you're seeing Makunouchi literally show you how he elevated to this great level. And out of all the sports anime I've named, I think that Ippo is the greatest MC. I'm saying this as a basketball fan and a fan of Kuroko. At number 9, I have Sonic the Hedgehog is an anime. Now, I do think that this is a
L fucking take. I'm not gonna wait. Okay. I'm gonna hear him out. I'm gonna hear this big ass nigga out. But like, that is a crazy take. Is it not anime?
much broader conversation.
I'ma hear 'em
that
out, though.
has
I'ma
to
hear
touch
'em.
on so many other series, but I will start the conversation with Sonic the Hedgehog. As you guys have seen many times on this channel, I have included Sonic in so many different versus battles between anime characters, and a comment I see way too often is Sonic is a video game character. Sonic is not an anime character. How does he count? And not to say that I don't understand him being questionable. I get it. But what I do not understand is how the same grace that is offered to shows like Pokemon is not offered to a show like Sonic the Hedgehog. The same grace that is offered to a show like Digimon is
These are like, am I tweaking? Who hold up. Okay, I'm back. I did my research. He might be cooking.
Not
I
offered to
might
a
take it
show
there.
like Kirby. Yes, these are all video games. And even if they started off as video games, it does not mean that we have the opportunity to deny.
Can you really compare Sonic to Pokemon though? As in like that regard? Or I mean I guess you could say Sonic is an anime. Well was. Like is it still considered one? Cause like it used to be like some of the shit is made in America and some of the shit is made in Japan. So it's like a wishy-washy. Like I don't know.
When they have an animated series. Devil May Cry is a video game that just dropped an animated series. We have seen things like this throughout the history of the anime manga universe. I don't know for what reason why these certain video game characters like Sonic and Kirby aren't allowed to have that same grace, but what I will say is that the purpose of anime is
It might be the
literally
feel.
to adapt from an original source. Now the original source that we are used to is manga, which is just Japanese comics. But who's to say that you can't adapt something from a video game? What is the issue? Why is there a bias towards just the comics and not the video games? For me, I never really understood
Cause like I had looked it up. My fault. I'm sorry for pausing. I had looked the hell up and it was made in
it
Japan.
because you even have anime
like-
originals like Code Geass. There's no
And it
previous
has a
manga for
manga.
Code Geass to go off of, right? That is an anime original. Do we say that's not
It
anime because there
is?
was no manga?
Y'all knew that? Code Geass don't got no manga? Where the fuck was I at? Huh? It's an anime original? Like a nigga just started producing the show? Like no books to go off of? Peak don't have a book? When the fuck was this? Am I under the rock of the century?
To help bring it into an anime adaptation? Where do we draw the line? And I'm cool with people saying, okay, maybe you have to differentiate whether you're talking about Sonic from Sonic X, which is the anime, or if you're talking about Sonic the Hedgehog
See,
from the
this is
video
what I was
games,
talking
or you
about.
can even go into the comics, which is the Archie comics. So by the way, Sonic does have a comic. But
saying
for
it has
whatever
a comic
reason,
and it
we
has
don't
anime.
get to see the same grace that's offered to other series like
Okay,
Pokemon.
I see what he's saying. He's not saying it's like, well, he's saying Sonic is an anime, but like, I think it's like actually classified as anime. But his like hot take is like he brought that out because his hot take is why aren't niggas pushing the agenda that Sonic is anime when it clearly is or was or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Why are niggas not pushing the agenda of Sonic as they do other niggas? Because Sonic might be, anime characters, Sonic versus yada yada. That nigga not no anime. Like you can't like, you feel me? Like they can say that, but at the same time, it is kind of like an anime or it is a anime period. So you know what I'm saying? Maybe if we push the agenda that Sonic is that nigga, you know what I'm saying, in the anime community, you know what I'm talking about, then I see what he's saying though.
Digimon that's offered to Sonic and Kirby. So I stand by saying, yes, Sonic is a video game, but Sonic is also an anime. Just like when you watch the Fate series. Fate is a video game, but it's also an anime.
This take
Why
is
does
okay.
Fate count?
I agree with
Sonic
this.
does. At number 8, I have Yamamoto was stronger than
take that.
Uebach. At the time he fought Uebach's doppelganger. I stand on this 10 toes. The amount
Okay.
of Yamamoto
This I'ma literally have to hear him out because that nigga got his ass beat and he looks like he's more cultured than I am. So yeah, that nigga got his ass handed to him. Actually, no, he probably was. Well, no, okay. Realistically, he could have been stronger, but like he could have been holding back because he was like, "Oh, I don't want to kill you. I didn't kill you the last time. Let me hold back again." He could have been like that, or maybe he wasn't. I don't know.
slander I have been seeing from the entire anime community has been crazy to me. I don't understand for the life of me why you guys think Yamamoto wasn't that powerful. Sosuke Aizen, one of the most glazed anime villains ever, had to literally make Wonder Wise. He had to manufacture an Aran card solely to seal Yamamoto's Ryujin Jaka because he knew if Yamamoto was able to use his unsealed flames while Sosuke Aizen is plotting against the Soul Society, he would have not been able to pull his plan off because Yamamoto is that powerful. And when you're looking in the face of Uebach, Mihawk, who again had history fighting against Yamamoto in the past. He knew what the situation was. He said to himself, Yamamoto is one of the strongest.
Okay, but this take is also kind of weird because, like, wouldn't that mean, okay, was Yamamoto stronger than, like, those frauds? Y'all know who I'm talking about. Paint Man, Black Nigga, and fine shit, and overeat shit turned into fine shit when she lose her eating prowess. Is he stronger than those four? Or is he at least stronger than the bald nigga? Because if he's stronger than the bald nigga, that means he'll be stronger than, you feel me? I mean, they both bald, so don't get confused. But, like, y'all know what I'm saying?
Characters I've ever faced. We've seen all different versions of the Bankai. Yamamoto can literally summon souls from the dead, and the tip of his sword is hotter than the sun. What are we talking about? Yubak knew he had to make a plan to nerf him, just like Sosuke Aizen. So what did he do? He said, hey, I'll have one of
I feel like his tip of the sword being hotter than the sun doesn't mean shit in Bleach, only because Grimmy probably could have summoned the sun and Kenpachi still could have broke out that shit because Kenpachi is weird and he broke out of outer space. I still don't get that shit. I feel like Grimmy should have been the second lieutenant or some shit at the end. Like, the nigga, how do you fuck up using a power of imagination? SpongeBob taught us that in episode 32. I'm saying, like, the nigga, bro, the nigga could have imagined anything. The reason he died is because he tried to imagine being Kenpachi, and he couldn't. That doesn't even make fucking sense, nigga. If you I feel like he could have, like, played that differently. Why would you even try to be the nigga? Like, that shit pissed me off. I'm not gonna lie. One of the most imagine. You imagine shit? Did he even like? He imagined shit. It like imagine that you imagining some shit and it come true, and that's your power. Anything you imagine, I'm fucking up everybody. What? I don't know, bro. But the nigga did break out from outer space. So, like, what the fuck? What does kill him? But old girl killed him with some damn slashing hacks. Like, I don't know.
my Stern Ritters disguised himself as a doppelganger
Was that after?
and forced Yamamoto to waste his Bankai
that was
on
after.
fire. And that's exactly what Yamamoto
Either
did,
way,
mistakenly, of course, but he
nigga
used his most
sent the
powerful
nigga to
weapons
space.
against a weaker foe, not knowing that it wasn't the main guy he wanted to see. And a lot of people have questioned him and said, wait, this all-powerful being didn't recognize that he was fighting a doppelganger? He was fighting a shadow clone? He wasn't fighting the real thing? Again, I believe that Kubo was trying to show us that the hate and the vitriol between the Quincy's and the Shinigami is so powerful that it blinded Yamamoto. Literally, Yamamoto in a blinding rage spammed all
I feel like
his
he's talking
ultimate
out his
attacks
ass.
before he realized that he was fighting the wrong person.
If he was to confront me right now and be like, well, what's your reasoning? I don't know. Just instinct.
And that's what
like
Yobak played to. He played on Yamamoto's emotions.
I kind of get what he's
saying. He did not play
saying,
on his power level because
but it's
he
just
knew
not
how
clicking.
powerful he was. Y'all got to stop the Yamamoto slander, man. He's powerful. Trust me. At number 7, we have Shanks is stronger than Mihawk. Now, I know you guys aren't strangers to this take, but maybe my One Piece fans are going to say, wait, I'm surprised this take isn't higher on the list. And I will say that I've noticed over the years, more people are...
Is this take even crazy? Stronger than Mihawk? I mean, like... Shanks only fights with a sword? Or, like, he does other shit, right? This is not a crazy take. I feel like if Shanks fight like any other way, like he fights with other shit, right? Like not just his sword. Or I don't know. Like if he only fights with his sword, then I ain't buying that. I'm not gonna lie. That's a crazy hot take. I ain't gonna lie. This is gonna get some niggas. But Shanks being stronger than Mihawk. Well, I don't know. I don't know.
Starting to trickle
This
over
could get
to
some
Team
niggas.
Shanks.
I can see this.
That doesn't mean the Mihawk fandom isn't still strong as ever, but I think a lot of people are starting to question how strong he truly is. Now, I've always been on the record saying that I believe Mihawk is one of the most powerful characters in the series. The only time you guys have ever seen me crash out on the Mihawk fandom is when they started to go against Roger and Emu just because they saw swords near them or they saw that Roger was holding a sword swords, so now all of a sudden Mihawk is stronger than Roger. That is where I started to have issues with it.
Yeah, I feel
because
like
outside of them holding
they
swords, there
could
has
fight
been no
without the
feats,
swords.
no signs of strength, no anything to show us that Mihawk is that powerful.
You know what I'm
Now, what I
saying?
will say is that I do believe Mihawk is the world's strongest swordsman. He is the best swordsman in the world in terms of swordsmanship. And I've
Yeah, just
always
straight
said
swordsman.
that title he has is not really fraudulent because it speaks to his skills in swordsmanship. The way of the sword, as it was explained to us in Wano, is Ryo, which is advanced armament haki. My personal belief is that Mihawk has the best Ryo in One Piece right now because he has the Yoru, the Black Blade, and he is the world's best swordsman. He has the best sword skills. If Zoro wants to surpass Mihawk someday, I think he's going to have to hone his Ryo. But when you're looking at other swordsmen in the series, for example, Shanks.
When you've got multiple parts,
When did
but
YouTube
need
start
just one
pulling out these
answer?
long ass ads?
Wait,
44
how do
seconds?
these
What happened to
things
my
work
10-second
together?
ad, YouTube? What are we
Looks
doing?
like you can just ask
what
Google.
the fuck? Like, I'm gonna do y'all ever like just want to like refuse the ads? Like, y'all click the video like 20 times and like y'all click it, 50-second ad, you click off, click it, ad, click off. Like you keep clicking on and off the video, especially probably not on your computer, but like on your PS5 or your phone. You just keep clicking off the video and clicking on it till you don't get no ad because you stubborn and shit. I be doing that. I hope I'm not the only one.
Downy
I'ma just look
Unstoppables with
stupid.
odor blocker to keep you fresh all day. Just toss, wash,
You know, sit here and
And
look at the
wow.
ads.
Downy
Should I skip this in
Unstoppables
the
with
tips?
odor
I'm
blocker
just-
for
I don't
all
know,
day
I don't know, I don't
freshness.
know.
Smell unstoppable.
For over 130 years, Strayer University has been making education affordable and attainable.
Or even Roger. I believe that even though Mihawk may surpass them in Ryo, he does not surpass them in other categories of hockey. Oda never came out and said, hey guys, here's hockey. There's only one form of hockey and that's it. That's not what we know hockey to be. Rarely taught us that there are 3 different forms of hockey: observation, armament, and conqueror. Ryo is an advanced version of armament, but when you're looking at conqueror's hockey or even observation hockey, I think there are other swordsmen in the series that may excel over Mihawk in those categories. Categories of hockey that aren't directly tied to swordsmanship like Ryo is
Speaking
and
of
armament hockey.
speaking of observation hockey, is Usopp gonna be ass his whole life? Like, okay, I know niggas are like really trying not to push like the agenda that Usopp is gonna get better, or like I don't want to slander Usopp too bad, cause like I still have hope in my heart that my partially black king that's no longer black, he's like light skinned, maybe just disintegrating. I hope that nigga, trash ass nigga, can like get some advanced observation hockey, cause there's no way this nigga shoots green beans. And like, what? Look at your father. Like, where did the genes go? Like, I don't understand. I just hope like Usopp can get some advanced observation hockey or some shit, bro. Because there's no way that like honestly, he's like the worst sniper I know. I think, right? Are we tripping? What other snipers are in the series? The nigga on Blackbeard's crew, the nigga on Shank's crew, which is his father. I literally don't know any other snipers. I can't think of any. You know what I'm saying? So he's the worst out the 3. We can all agree that, right? The nigga ass. Hopefully, like, what the fuck? How is he the worst? I feel like Nami should have been. Let me start ranting, bro. I'm gonna like be here for like.
And this is where
30
I think
minutes.
Shanks beats Mihawk. Or at least you want to say they're equal, that's fine. I think you could give Mihawk
I might
armor,
rant in a
but
video.
when it comes
I'm not
to
gonna lie.
conquerors and what we've seen on paper from Shanks, whether it was using his Wi-Fi hockey to scare Ryokugyu, clashing weapons with Whitebeard and splitting the sky, taking Captain Kidd and his entire crew out with one attack, defeating Loki, or even having Dorian Broglie name drop him when they're talking about a comparison to Joy Boy's hockey knot. Shanks is one of the greatest Conqueror's Haki users we have ever seen in all of One Piece. And as we understand it, Conqueror's Haki is not the end-all be-all, but it is definitely the strongest form of Haki that there is. And we are still learning more about Conqueror's Haki because there is more to be discovered. But Shanks developing the ability to turn off somebody else's observation Haki is something that we have not seen from any other character in the series thus far. This is not a hot take about Mihawk being weak. This is a hot take about how people underestimate how truly powerful Shanks is. At number 6, I have Suzaku is the reason why Lelouch suffered the most. For my Code Geass fans, I'm sorry.
Okay.
Suzaku is one of my most...
I want to apologize before I continue this. I'm going to have to skip this section because I haven't finished it. I know. Shocker. If you do want to see his hot take on this, I know who these niggas are. I just haven't finished it. Go to Shonen Showdown. I have to skip a little bit. Sorry. I just want to see. I see niggas dying.
Fans are gonna come in here and say this is a guy who does not understand Code Geass. I've seen Code Geass more times than you can count, and my opinion will not change on this, y'all. Y'all can't change my opinion on this one. Coming in at number 5, I have Sabo is the most disrespected character in the One Piece power scale.
Okay. I really don't like. Okay, this isn't crazy. I don't see Sabo get talked about.
Community. What baffles me about the Sabo takes is that the same grace that is offered to other characters is never ever offered to Sabo. There's a very small part of the One Piece power scaling community that respects Sabo and gives him his justice, because we can at least understand that this is Luffy's brother that we're talking about. We can see that Sabo subbed in for Luffy in Dressrosa and there was no slippage in strength. We can see that Sabo was able to box with Fujitora after the first day getting his devil fruit. We can see that people call him the Flame Emperor, and it's not just for show. Oda had to literally come out and tell us
automatically like learning your devil fruit the day you eat it is crazy, no? Or is it not? Did somebody else do that? Never mind. I'm dumb as fuck. Them niggas from Ennie's lobby did it.
Q&A that Sabo has been training every single day. But the most controversial take I've had on Sabo's power level speaks to what he did in the room with the Gorosei and Imu. Many people have called me crazy because I give Sabo respect for that Gorosei/Imu feat. It is a feat. Most people in the community have said to me, well, Rob, how is that a feat? Sabo just
Is that crazy? Is that crazy? One Piece fan haven't seen it? Nah, yeah. I haven't seen that particular scene.
Why are you giving Sabo grace? Why are you giving him credit for running away from Imu in the Gorosei? Couple of things. I stand firm in saying that if 95% of the characters in One Piece were in that room by themselves 1v6 against the Gorosei and Imu, they would die on the spot. All of the Gorosei transformed when they saw Sabo, and so did Imu. Imu transformed as well. Sabo took an attack from the supposed strongest character alive in the One Piece world while transformed and still lived to tell the tale. People hearing this may think this is glazed, but when you're looking at characters like Zoro, for instance, when Big Mom and Kaido did a combo attack, Conquest of the Seas, against the worst generation, and Zoro flew in and endured the attack, the One Piece community lost their mind.
That is crazy. Durability was insane.
From 2 Yonko.
No, it was crazy though.
His durability is insane. And I'm not here to question any of that. But when Sabo takes a direct attack from a transformed Imu, who arguably has the greatest haki in One Piece right now, and survives, all of a sudden it doesn't speak to how great Sabo's haki is. It doesn't speak to his defense, his durability, his training, none of that. And I'm here to tell you guys to keep disrespecting Sabo.
I'm out of the loop.
Keep doing it. Oda tried to tell you guys that Sabo has been training every single day and people still do not want to buy in. Just make sure you keep that same energy when we get some crazy Sabo feats in the future. Keep the same energy. I don't want any switching up. You wasn't with us when we were shooting in the gym. At number 4, I have Sun Jinwoo has more aura than Freeran. I had an opportunity to have a conversation.
Sun Jinwoo has more aura than Freeran. That's not even a hot take. I'm not gonna lie, he do. That's not no hot take. Freeran got crazy aura though. Like, demons fear her. They know her name. Yada yada. But like Jinwoo's whole the nigga whole trope is aura farming. Like the nigga put on clothes to aura farm. He'll let a nigga die to see how he gonna aura farm. Shout out RDC. He just do shit, bro. Like the nigga, if he not aura farming, what else he doing? Like, you know what I'm saying?
With my friend Kumar about this topic, and he picked Frieren for having more aura over Sun Jinwoo, and I had no idea that me saying Sun Jinwoo was going to cause such a war. Now, I want to preface my comments by saying that I am a Frieren fan. I believe Frieren should have deserved.
That's not a crazy take. Like, you gotta think about it. She aura farming right now in my face on the screen. The only problem is he compared it to Jinwoo. The problem with that is, think about solo leveling versus free run. In my opinion, I feel like free run better. But if you think about aura farm, whatever the fuck, Jinwoo aura farms every episode. There is not one episode that he hasn't aura farmed, at least in season 2. In season 1, I can't really tell you because it's been a minute. But season 2, he aura farmed every episode. Every free run did not aura farm that many times. She aura farmed when a demon saw her. She saw a demon when she was fighting aura fucking crazy. Wait. Okay, wait. Let me think. Nah, okay. Free run's aura is crazy though. You gotta like everybody know her. Right? Everybody know her. Oh, free run, the heroes party, yada yada. I'm saying maybe it's cause she don't flaunt it. But like you gotta think of okay, Jinwoo has aura and niggas don't even know him. Niggas didn't even know him. He aura farming to nobody. But like and if niggas, I guarantee you, if Jinwoo was in a party and like I don't know.
Anime of the year over Solo Leveling. But when you're talking
Trash out on
specifically about the topic of aura, as much as I believe Frieren has aura at high magnitudes, Sun Jinwoo does this
Is a hot
for
take,
breakfast, lunch,
Yes,
dinner,
he does this.
sleep,
He
awake,
aura farms for
24/7
no reason.
aura farming. Kumar's point to me was that Frieren is able to be happy and whimsical, but then when she gets serious, you feel her aura more because she's not doing it on a consistent basis. And although I do understand that point, I want to reiterate that Sun Jinwoo does this day in and day out. Frieren
Nigga Jinwoo aura is him breathing. Like the nigga, like he aura farms like it's him breathing. Like this shit just stupid.
told the demon aura to go kill herself, and she did.
That
In
was
contrast,
crazy.
Sun
That was
Jinwoo doesn't
fire.
even allow you to die. He literally forces his enemies to join his ranks and fight for him in death. He is a necromancer. That's where the famous Arise quote comes from. He does not allow you to rest in peace. There's no RIP iron, all right? It's iron. Now you're a part of my team. Go fight that fodder for me. Go be a meat shield in my defense. When Frieren moves around in the world, they respect her as one of the greatest mages of all time. But the land as a whole on a macro scale really worships Himmel. And it's not until people get to see Frieren really act out that they understand how powerful she
You
truly
right.
is.
He right
When
about
it
that
comes
too. Himmel got more aura than Frieren. I'm not gonna lie. Only cause like if you put it in that regard, well, I don't know. It depends how you define aura. If you're talking about like if you're talking about like she fighting some niggas, then I don't know how Himmel aura farms. But like if you're talking about like status, yeah, Himmel got it. I ain't gonna lie.
Sun Jinwoo, there is nobody in Korea that can box with him.
But I'm not even talking about status. Like I wasn't talking about aura off of status. I was just talking about Sung Jin-woo was just like watch the show, bro.
Nobody, all of the S classes that used to look down on him as an E rank are now begging him to pull up against the ants. He has single-handedly surpassed everybody within his region. Sun Jinwoo is so powerful, he's now above the authority of the guilds and the other hunters. They now request his permission to act out and do certain things. And as powerful as I think Frieren is, I don't think she commands that level of respect. But I still love Frieren, I love her character, and I think her character is even better than Sun Jinwoo's. But
Nah,
I just
hell
want to
yeah.
make sure
Hell yeah.
that all of the Sun Jinwoo
Frieren is way honestly, why the fuck did Freeman lose the anime rewards to solo leveling? It's not no hot take. You could call it a hot take. That shit was ass. But the nigga just aura farm, beat a nigga, aura farm, beat some ass, aura farm, beat some more ass, aura farm, go home, take a nap, take care of my sister for a day, go out, beat some ass, recruit some niggas, tell them to go beat some ass. And that's it. That's the whole show. He just giving belt that ass. Freeman is way more in depth. Like I don't get it.
Haters out there understand that he does have a reason for crashing out
cool,
on
though.
the world. I mean, they looked down on him as a hunter. He literally only became a hunter to raise money to save his mom, and the same hunters that he always believed in tried to literally finesse him and his friend and take them out and take all of their loot. So Sun Jin-woo has a reason to be cold and aura farm all the time. He does have a reason to do so. Is it the right choice? Not necessarily,
be
but
cold,
I
he don't
understand.
gotta
At number
aura
3,
farm.
I have Bartolomeo is the most loyal character to Monkey D. Luffy. Now wait.
Debatable.
Everybody,
Debatable. I know y'all thinking, but Zoro. I mean, Barto literally, like, didn't he like the nigga burnt Shanks' flag? Pretty sure he doesn't know Luffy and Shanks are cool. Nigga risked his life to burn a Yonko's flag. To like, you know what I'm saying? Zoro would have did that too though. So, but like, I feel like this is very debatable.
relax.
Cause you know we talking about Zoro loyalty, Barto loyalty. It's crazy fucking take. I'm not gonna lie. I can't even.
Zoro fans, everybody calm down,
Yeah,
calm
he's
down, relax.
straight
This
says
is
Zoro.
not me
I'm like,
saying
shit.
that Zoro's not loyal to
Yo, Ruben's Hail Mary. That is a football
Zoro
term,
did
right?
try to like almost die for Luffy.
I believe it's a religious term. Try fast.
I wouldn't say more loyal though. I don't know.
In theaters and IMAX Friday.
At University of Maryland Global Campus, earn up to 90
Like,
credits
I would
toward a
say,
bachelor's for prior work and life and job experience.
Zoro
This
probably
is
got like.
Judy and Pedro. They just bought their first
Nah.
home and are
Barto probably
learning a
loves
lot.
Luffy.
Thanks to Google,
Like, he
Pedro
obsessed.
knows more than he.
Like, hold on.
Luffy. That
Like, Barto obsessed with Luffy, but I don't think like he. I wouldn't say more loyal. He more obsessed. But like, I guess I don't know. It's
Jinbei's not
very
loyal to
debatable.
Luffy, that Bon Clay is not loyal to Luffy, or even Boa Hancock, because those are other characters that I think are in the conversation for being the most loyal to Luffy. I know other people are going to mention some other Straw Hats, but a majority of the Straw Hats literally had their instances where they left the crew, right? Sanji left the crew, Nami left the crew, Nico Robin left the crew. I can go down the list. Usopp left the crew. So as committed
Nah,
as they are
Usopp-
now,
Usopp on my hell nah list, man. He left the crew. He was
I
the
can't
first
put them in a position where they are the most loyal. Now, I think this conversation really comes down between Zoro, Jinbei, and Bartolomeo. And even though I
one.
think
Jinbei, I feel like it's just Zoro. and
Jinbei is
Barto.
one of the most disrespected Straw Hats of all time because he has done so much for Luffy. One of the counter arguments to my Jinbei take
'cause
is
he
that he
old,
was
gang.
initially loyal
I'm telling you, niggas don't like Jinbei because he an old fish. I promise you, if Jinbei was younger, everybody would love Jinbei. It's just because he old. But like at the same time, Robin old and shit, and Brook is old. But like Jinbei is really like unk. Like Jinbei give unk. Like I feel like I don't hate Jinbei, but like I'm assuming why other niggas hate Jinbei. Like Jinbei just gives unk status. Like am I tripping? Like I feel like they would like Jinbei better if he was just like a younger fish, like in his teen days when he was like a dickhead.
to Luffy because of Ace, and I can't deny that fact. But what he has done
Still
since
cool,
then,
though.
like giving Luffy his blood and holding off Big Mom so they can make their way to Wano, has been stellar. Jinbei is
he
hands
is
down the
pretty
top
loyal,
3
though.
loyal character on the Straw Hats to Luffy. But my argument for
He
Bartolomeo
is.
stands as this. Bartolomeo is the reason why Luffy now has a Straw Hat Grand Fleet. Bartolomeo is the one that champions Luffy's Jolly Roger, even greater than
Crazy take.
Bartolomeo
What?
stands as this. Bartolomeo is the reason why Luffy now has a Straw Hat.
He the reason they have a fleet? I mean, I guess you could say that, yeah. in a way, but at the same time, I feel like any other character could have been like, oh, they have a fleet. Or something, whatever the fuck the nigga said. I know the nigga said some bullshit. He could have been like, oh, they have a fleet. And then Luffy could have been like, no, I don't want no damn fleet. And then they eventually just get a fleet anyway. And then Luffy was like, let's just be friends. Or so I forgot. I ain't gonna lie. I forgot exactly what was said. But I feel like any nigga could have did that. Cause like having a fleet is literally cause Luffy is Luffy. Like, I guarantee you, Usopp would have not had this fleet.
At Grand Fleet. Bartolomeo is the one
But I
that
guess
champions Luffy's Jolly Roger, even greater than Luffy does outside of his camp. Bartolomeo was the one that risked his life to drink poison in defense of Luffy. And one thing Bartolomeo will never, ever in a million years do is leave the Straw Hat Grand Fleet or speak against them. Now, Zoro has done many things for Luffy, not only being his first mate and trusting him so much, but obviously you have the situation with nothing happened in Thriller Bark. Zoro has been with Luffy every single step of the way. But there are times where Zoro, in order to get a point across to Luffy, has threatened to leave the crew. For example, Usopp in Water 7. Usopp leaves the crew, and in order for Zoro to try to teach Luffy
that is
how
a good point.
important it was to allow Usopp to apologize and come back the right way, Zoro threatened to leave the crew himself. And I feel like that scene is something that we always have to keep in the back of our mind. That if Luffy is not moving the way Zoro wants him to move, Zoro will leave. This is how Zoro operates. This is not to say that Zoro isn't doing it because he thinks he's doing it for Luffy's best interest, but this is something that Bartolomeo would never ever do. Now, you can have a conversation about whether you think Bartolomeo is loyal to a fault. And
now I feel like we just don't have enough on that nigga yet, bro. Like, we just don't have enough on Barto. But like, as of right now, I see what he's saying. Like, as of right now, he could definitely say that because Barto is not like, you know what I'm saying?
Zoro choosing not to be a yes man is better for Luffy's character. I think that is a fair argument. But when we're talking about just loyalty in general, as loyal as Zoro is, I don't think he compares to Bartolomeo's loyalty. At number 2, I have Dandadan is not weird. It was marketed wrong. Now, I believe what happened to Dandadan on its release is a travesty. Many people saw the first episode and saw that there were very serious themes being discussed and immediately checked out of Dandadan and called it every name under the sun except for a great anime. And I do understand that the initial episode has jarring themes, which is why I believe it was marketed to the wrong audience. It is my belief that Yukinobu Tatsu made Dandadan with the intention for it to be a mixture of multiple different genres, but also a genre of horror. It is a horror manga and horror anime. In horror, you're going to see certain things that you are not fond of, which is the reason why it is horror. But I do believe that it's because he is showing these themes, he also shows the greatness of Momo and Okudun and seeing how they are able to persevere and get through certain scenarios that are wild. The two biggest reasons for the turnoffs that I've been seeing is that Momo was dealt with inappropriately by the Serpo aliens, and that Okudun is dealing with losing his balls. To that, I'll say this. Dandadan is a series that is trying to discuss ghosts and aliens, talking about things that are unknown to us. One of the most popular theories about being abducted by aliens is being probed. If you want to look this up, you can. But being probed by an alien doesn't mean they bring you up into the UFO and they give you a high five and you guys start playing Uno. Normally what you hear from people that have had these theories or alien encounters, whether these stories are fiction or fact, this is up to your own personal interpretation or beliefs. People being probed by aliens is going to be inappropriate because it's showing that the alien is interested in the human body. I'm not saying that watching these things should make you feel comfortable because it shouldn't, but I think that was Yukinobu Tatsu's intention. The intention of Dandadan is that you're going to see fun and adventurous themes, but you're also going to see dark things, or you're going to see things that make you feel uncomfortable because that is the whole point of the show. The mangaka is literally exploring the unknown with ghosts and aliens and tying it to a romantic comedy shonen action. And this is why I personally believe Dandadan would have succeeded succeeded better on release if it was marketed as a seinen and not a shonen. So I'm not sitting here saying that you have to enjoy Dandadan, even though I think it's a great series.
No, crazy.
I do
good take.
understand
I'm
if
not
that's
gonna lie, I
too
had
jarring to
literally
people,
nothing
but
to
I
say.
do still think that Dandadan is one of the greatest series out there, and it
It's
just
not
got dealt a
good,
bad
bro.
hand. It should have been marketed as a seinen, but
It's
certain
straight.
things that Yuki Nobutatsu put in here are
cool.
legitimate things. What
I would
happened
say
to
it's the
Momo in the
best.
hot spring is not something that we've never
is
heard of
fucking
before. These
crazy.
are true horrors. This is literally what Yuki Nobutatsu was trying to show us. These horrors should trigger you. They should terrify you. But we get to see how these characters navigate and how they elevate and persevere through these things. That
This
is
nigga
really
knows
the
big,
true
but
story
he-
of Dandadan.
he
And when
be
I see
spitting,
series like
man.
Berserk and Vinland
He be
Saga
spitting.
and AOT and
Berserk.
others get so much love, when they have so many more crazier themes than what I'm seeing in Dandadan, I just personally feel that Dandadan was just marketed to the wrong
Berserk.
audience. This is probably my hottest
Berserk.
anime hot take to date.
Berserk.
Takamichi is not a humanistic character. Takamichi defenders
Berserk.
normally say that they like Takamichi
I
because
hope this
he
ain't no
really
crazy page.
represents the human emotions, and they can't stand that people get on Takamichi
No, I got
for
leggy.
not
This is a
retaliating,
cool-
and
this is a
fighting
cool
back
little
in
page.
battle, because it forces the
I'm sorry. I'm not listening to what he's saying. It's a cool little page. I just randomly opened this bitch. This could have been anything. Look, we gonna play Russian roulette. See if I get banned. TOS. Let's see if it's TOS. My dog wanna see and shit. Come on, we finna see if it's TOS. 3, 2, 1. It's TOS. No, I don't think. No, it's not TOS. It's the fairy. I'm not doing that again. I got scared.
themes of toxic masculinity. They say things like Takamichi should be allowed to cry. He should be allowed.
Okay, go back. Takamichi.
Character. Takamichi defenders normally say
It's from the
Dandadan
start,
was
from
just
the top,
marketed to
from
the
the
wrong
top.
audience. This is probably my hottest anime hot take to date. Takamichi is not a humanistic character. Takamichi defenders normally say that they like Takamichi because he really represents the human emotions. And they can't stand that people get on Takamichi for not retaliating and fighting back in battle because it forces the themes of toxic masculinity.
Okay. It's crazy because I love Tokyo Revengers. Literally, my only problem was the nigga wouldn't man up. Okay. No, because you have to think about it from like different perspectives. Number one, he's time travel. Crying the first few times is fine. Being weak throughout the whole show is crazy to me. I feel like at some point of time traveling back and forth, seeing all these deaths, you have to like man up at some point. Maybe I just don't understand human emotions. Maybe I'm stupid. But like, in my personal opinion, I feel like he should have just been able to man up. Second of all, he's already a grown man, isn't he? He's some shit. He's older than what the fuck he is right there. I feel like as a grown ass nigga, you should at least be like, I'm pretty sure he's more mature than him, I think. Or some shit. But at the end of the day, the nigga should fucking really man up, bro. Like, I don't know what else to say. He's a grown man. He's always crying. You know. Now, I also feel like I can't compare Tokyo Revengers to Windbreaker. Because as of right now, I like Windbreaker's MC better, of course. You know what I'm saying? But I like Tokyo Revengers' story better. Like, the story is just phenomenal. Like, fuck Takamichi. The story is still good. Like, even with Takamichi crying and bullshit, the story is still fine. The only pet peeve I had by Tokyo Revengers is that the nigga wouldn't man up.
They say things like Takamichi should be allowed to cry, he should be allowed to struggle. And even though I have this hot take, I'm not here to refute those points. Those takes from the Takamichi defenders are valid. However,
I feel like
my
that's fine. Just after a while.
struggles with watching Takamichi as a character in Tokyo Revengers is that he truly does invalidate those claims of the human emotions. Kobe Bryant once spoke about the differences between light musings and dark musings. And he says that light musings are things that make you happy, and there are positive words of affirmation, and dark musings are things that make you angry and sad and upset. The beauty is that you're able to use these dark musings to help motivate you and push you to create more light musings, to create more success, which tells us that there are two avenues that you could really go down. We see the dark musings that are built up in human beings all throughout the history of humanity. You either find a way to let out and express all that dark energy, or you keep it bottled up and allow it to destroy you within. We've seen this happen with Deku during his vigilante arc. Deku was struggling with a lot internally, and because he felt like it was his duty to save the world, he did not tell anybody else about his problems, and he kept them all to himself. And he ended up going into his vigilante Deku arc, where he shut the world out and tried to save the world solely. That forced his class to go in and save him from himself. Takemichi has done neither. He has not held onto his dark musings, allowing it to destroy him from within, nor has he shown us what happens when you let it all out. Some of you may say, well, Rob, hold on. If he's emotionless, that still is a human emotion. Him not showing how he wants to react because maybe he's nervous, he's anxious. And to me, I believe that's a contradiction. And the reason why I believe it's a contradiction is because we have literally seen Takemichi cry when Baji passes away. Baji's death was the moment for Takemichi to fully say, you know what? I'm a captain in Toman now. Now it's time for me to really retaliate. It's time for me to really learn how to fight, learn how to protect my people, because now I'm taking Baji's #1 right-hand man, Chifuyu, under my wing. Now he's going to support me. And Takemichi still was struggling to show us the output of what happens when somebody you care about passes away. I know people in the comments are going to say, I don't understand his character, and I'm not being patient with him. I'm not saying Takemichi will never show up, but the crying moments and the pain that we see when he loses Baji and when he loses other people around him aren't matching up with the production when it's time to battle. Now, these are my top 10 anime hot takes ranked. Again, you are not supposed to agree with me in the comments. I expect everybody in the comments calling me crazy. But if you do agree with me, be crazy with me. We can both be crazy. And with that, I'll see you guys next time.